Buenos días, buenas tardes, bienvenidos. Hola, me llamo Karina Figueroa y hoy en este video voy a hablar sobre the Spanish American War. En este video voy a hablar en inglés porque como el inglés es mi primer idioma, siento que puedo expresarme mejor. am, Puedo expresarme bien en español, pero me siento más cómoda, ya que muchos de los datos que he leído están en inglés. So bear with me. Espero que se puedan entender lo que yo quiero decir. Voy a tratar de hablar este, calmada, tranquila y suave para que todo el mundo me pueda entender. Porque I tend to talk very fast. So, the Spanish American War. I've known of the Spanish American War since I did take history in the United States. Um, it wasn't a war that was very well informed, I would say. I didn't know much about it. I didn't know that it was Spain against United States. I never knew why. The my teacher at the time was more focused on World War II. They're like bigger, in quotation marks. For him, there were bigger battles, a bigger war than the Spanish American War. So after reading, PowerPoints, after watching videos, after reading, doing my own research, I learned a lot, and I'm surprised that I wasn't taught. And nor when I was here, I did study history here in Puerto Rico, pardon. And I never once did I wish known shown about the Spanish American War, because here they did show history, they did talk about American, history, but they never went to detail. They like lo repasaron, and I just didn't know much about it. So the war was against the United States and Spain in 1898. The war began after a sinking in the battleship in um, Maine in Havana harbor on February 15. The war, pardon, the war did end with a peace treaty. Treaty of Paris is what they were called. What was called on December 10th in 1898. It really wasn't a long war. It was just a couple months. That's what really surprised me, because I've had read about battles that were months and months and even years. I have learned about wars that lasted just weeks. And then for me, in my opinion, this was very important because it was an overseas war for America. This was the first ever, not for Spain. Spain had many wars under its belt. And the outcome was very surprising to me, because I did know that they did sign a peace treaty. But, if you look back into the history of the United States, there not a lot of the wars that they had were signed by a peace treaty. So I just found it very interesting that they did. So because of this outcome, because they did sign the peace treaty, Spain did lose a lot of its countries that they had over their empire, their colonial empire they were trying to build, which was Cuba, the Philippines, Guam, Puerto Rico, and many more. I did The important facts that I can tell you about the war was that during the war, or around that time, Cuba was really trying to get their freedom from Spain. I did hear that Spain was a very controlling and very not protective, but like very controlling, and wanted to build an empire. Um and that caused Cuba their freedom, and United States did give them their freedom, but they did stay with the Philippines. And I just found it very interesting. I did, like I said, I did know that Spain was very powerful at the time. They had so many countries under their belts, like Puerto Rico. Puerto Rico was under Spain's control, Cuba, and other more that I don't remember right now. So yeah, I just found it, like I said, such a big country that was trying to like build an empire, and they just, and United States at the time, they had their things there, and they were doing what they were doing, and for them to end and it's like a peace treaty, it just like really mind blows me. So yeah, it really was very interesting. Um I did think it was gonna last long because many of the wars, like I said, that United States did have were, wars that lasted years, like the Civil War did last for years. Um, the United States did participate in the World War II. So like after reading this and looking at the outcome, it really did surprise me, and that's what I think that um just captured my attention. The ending, like so much things that they were doing, the after the bombing, and then Cuba, crying out and everything for freedom, and the bombing. And you would think that a thing like this, or like a war like this, would cause so much, that would last so long, but it didn't, it literally was just 8 months. I know that it was a very long 8 months, very stressful 8 months, but at the end of the day, it was a very historical battle, and I really enjoyed it. I was very happy to be able to get to know about it, and get to know like how it started and then how it ended, and like it was very interesting, and I really liked it, and hopefully I get to learn more, not just the typical. I did in this class I did learn about the Holland, I believe, Holanda, versus Puerto Rico, which was, like I said, under the ruling of Spain. I've learned so much, and I really hope that I get to learn more than I learned from high school. So thank you so much. Hopefully I said what I needed to say. But yeah, I do encourage you to read more about it and watch more videos. There's a lot of interesting videos in the history channel that they take scenes, they like try to recreate scenes from the battle. When President Kinley, that was the president at the time, and how they did so much, and how the battle was. So it was very interesting, and I do encourage you guys to like keep on watching it. So thank you so much, and I hope you guys have a great day.